Welcome to Natu Reads, an audio library of revolutionary texts. Scripting the Change. Selected writings of Anuradha Ghandy. Prices make the poor poorer. Today, our very existence as students has been threatened by the tremendous rise in the price of everything from pencils to food. The government, however, seems oblivious to the hardships its policies are causing for the ordinary people. To educate ourselves, we have to pay the fees, buy books, travel to and fro, stay in hostels, and get a regular supply of food. Yet we do not have any source of income. And how much does the government provide cheaply, if not free, to its students? It pays the fees only for those students whose parents' income is less than 100 rupees a month. Since 1948, this level has not been raised, even though the value of the rupee has fallen by 63%. Hostel and canteen charges are so exorbitant that they are no longer within the reach of ordinary students. Nothing need be said about the cost of paper and books. We all know how bad the situation is. And now, even the transport charges, local train and best, Bombay electricity and state transport fares, have been increased. Why are prices rising so fast? How can this be stopped? Some answers supplied by our economic pundits. The population is too large. Do they not know that the density of population in England is 3 times that of India? Droughts and floods have struck the economy. Are they not aware that there was a record crop production in 1973 to 74? The workers demand too many wage increases. Are they not aware that the number of people existing below the poverty level has risen from 38% in 1961 to 54% in 1971? This means that there are more than 230 million people who are earning less or are out of jobs. Corruption and bad planning. But these are the symptoms, not the causes of the disease. What, then, are the real reasons for this price rise? Because of unemployment, a large section of our population is not able to take part in any productive work. Most of the rural population work only 4 months in the year, not due to any unwillingness to work, but because they do not have any land of their own to work on. The landlords choose not to increase production because it would help to lower prices and, in turn, reduce the profits. What can one expect when only 1% of the rural population owns 70% of the land? Enormous profit is still taken out of the country by foreign companies. It is estimated that a minimum of 800 crore rupees is sent abroad every year. The surplus created by production is not reinvested, but is used unproductively or simply hoarded. Crores of black money come into circulation every year, and this money is spent on luxury consumption, which contributes to lopsided industrial development. Increased defense expenditure, 1,915 crore rupees a year, also helps to keep the prices high. If India had an independent economy, i.e., one without all the 4,000 collaboration agreements that tie our industry to America, Russia, and Britain, and if more land belonged to the peasants who actually till the soil, then production and employment would rise and the prices would drop. Ask your economics teacher if this is not the case. If he does not agree, tell him to write to us. Meanwhile, if we, the students, are to protect ourselves against rising prices and effectively exercise our right to education, we must unite and fight on our own behalf. The state transport, in most towns and cities in India, gives concessions to the students in public transport. Then why should the best discriminate against the students in Bombay? We too must be allowed to travel to our schools and colleges for half fare. Public transport is meant to benefit the large majority of the people who cannot afford their own private means of transport. Therefore, the government should be spending much more on maintaining a cheap and efficient public transport. The excuse of paucity of funds will not do, because the government policies are so lopsided. The government spends 50% of the central budget on defense, yet our defense forces seem to be brought out more and more against the students and the poor, rather than to guard our borders. The government wants extra revenue, yet it does not touch the crores of black money or the profits of foreign companies. Instead, it asks the poor and middle classes, who regularly travel by buses, to pay more. Does this make public transport an undertaking for the people? Proyam, Progressive Youth Movement, is thus organizing the students of Bombay to fight for a 50% bus concession. We also demand that the government withdraw the 5-pence surcharge. We call on all students to join struggle for our basic democratic rights and fight exploitation.